What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video I'll be showing you step by step on how to draw Kai from Beyblade. Let's get started in the center of our page with the eyes. So I move over to the left side and draw on the upper eyelid. We'll start on the outside. I'm going to draw a curve coming in. We're just going to bend that down on the inside. Let's leave a gap and draw the same thing over on the right. So we'll line up the inside of the eyelid, curve up, and then out. Now we tuck the eyes in underneath the eyelid. Over on the left side, I want to leave a little overlap, so we're going to step in and draw a half circle. Coming down towards the bottom of the eye, and then up on the inside. Let's do the same thing on the right. We're going to add a small highlight circle on the left side of each eye. So let's start on the left, up against the edge of the eye, we'll draw that circle. And we'll line this up on the right and do the same thing. And tuck this in underneath the eyelid. Now we'll add the pupil in the center of the eye. Now we're going to tuck this in behind the highlight. So we'll draw a circle. Starting at the bottom, curve around, back out, and do the same thing on the right side. Now let's fill the pupils in black. Now we're going to add the hairband coming down in between the eyes. So directly above the left eye, we'll start up here, curve down towards the inside and over towards the right. Now we're going to taper that back up and then out. Let's go back over towards the left side. From the top we'll step down, curve out and down just over the corner of the eye. Do the same thing over on the right. Curving out and then down. Let's pull this back up towards the top. Starting on the left, curve out, and bring that in. Now we're going to add the eyebrows in behind the hair. Starting at the top of the eye, on the inside, we're going to angle up and out. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now I just want to thicken up the eyebrow. Stepping up, we're going to taper it so it gets a little bit wider as you come in behind the hairband. Let's move to the center. Just underneath the hairband, we'll draw a short curve, coming down and over towards the right. We'll step down, draw a curve for the mouth, going up and then down. Let's draw the lower half of the head. From the bottom of the hairband on the left, we'll step up, draw a large half circle, coming down, just underneath the mouth. We're going to pull that up on the right side. Now we add those markings across the cheeks. Starting on the left side, we're going to curve down and then in, just directly underneath the pupil. Do the same thing on the right side. And we'll curve down and out toward the side of the face. Now we'll add a smaller point along the bottom. Leaving a gap, we'll aim up and in with a straight line and bring it back down. Do the same thing on the right, going up and in, and then tapering that back down. Let's curve the outside edge of the eye. From the top of the eyelid on the left, coming around, and then just pulling that in. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to work our way around the outside of the hair. Starting on the left side, we're going to step up, curve down, and then up. I'm going to pull this in and then up along the side of the head. Go up. I'm just going to bend that back in. Going up and then in. Now let's go over to the right side. We're going to step up, curve out, and then down. I'm just going to pull this around and then up on the inside. Up and then in. Now back on the left side, curve out and then up. Pull this in and then up. And we're going to add 3 large spikes along the top of the head. On the left, we'll step down, curve out, and then up. And we're going to pull this down and across the top of the head, right in towards the middle. Let's step over, curve up, and bend this out towards the left. And bring this across, and then bend that down. Let's go back over towards the right, curve out and up towards the tip of the last spike, Now I'm just going to tuck this in behind this line, curving down and then in. Then we'll add the back side of the hair over on the right side. We're going to step up, curve out, and then down. At the bottom, we're just going to turn this up. We'll pull this down and then in behind the side of the hair. Let's move back down and draw on the bottom edge of the ear. On the left side, I'm just going to curve down and then in towards the side of the head. Line this up on the right, curve out, and then up. Now we want to pull the back side of the hair in behind the right side of the head. So start back out here, out, then up. Now I'm just going to pull this down, aiming towards the bottom of the ear. Continue along the bottom, and then into right about there. Let's add one more point, curving out and up, and come down and in behind the head. Let's go back to the center and draw on the scarf. Over on the left side, just underneath the head, I'm going to curve down and then in. Move over towards the right, we'll curve in the opposite direction. Now let's draw on the bottom fold of the scarf. Back over towards the left, curve down and then in towards the center point. Curve out and then up on the right. Let's draw on the sides of the body. Back over towards the left, curve out and then down towards the hip. Go to the right and do the same thing. Now we want to close off the bottom of the body, but we're going to extend this out towards the side, curve up in the middle, and then back down on the right. And then from the ends, we're going to angle down and in towards the hips. Let's move back up and add in the sleeve. From the top of the body, we'll step out underneath the scarf, curve around, and we're just going to pull that in just up above the hip. Now let's add two sets of buttons on either side. Starting over on the left, draw a small circle, line this up on the right, and do the same thing. I'm going to step up and draw that one more time. Now from the hips, we're going to move to the center and add the buckle. Start at the top with a straight line, go up the sides. Now I'm going to come down at an angle for the sides of the belt buckle. We'll pull this down and in toward the center, and then we'll close off the bottom with a straight line. Let's connect the bottom of the hips with a curve going in behind the buckle. Go up and in, back down on the right. I'm going to step up and draw that same curve along the top. Now on either side of the belt buckle, we're going to add the belt loop. Draw two lines side by side. Now let's fill in the belt, starting with the outside, and then the inside. Now we're going to continue working down with the legs. Just underneath the belt buckle, we'll step down, draw a curve from left to right, going up and then down. We're going to leave a gap in the center, go over towards the left, curve out and down towards the left side. We'll do the same thing on the right. Let's round out the bottom of the pant. Starting from the left, curve down and then up on the outside. Now let's move back up to the hip and round out the side of the leg. Starting on the left, we're going to curve out and then down. From the inside corner of the pant, we'll step in, draw a straight line coming down towards the heels. And then we'll round out the bottom of the feet. Starting from the left heel, curve down and up towards the toe. Do the same thing on the right. And then from the toe, we're going to curve up and in behind the pant. Pull that in, leaving a little overlap on the outside. Let's thicken up the sole. I'm going to take this curve, step up, and I'm just going to trace that across from toe to heel, and then heel to toe. From the top of the foot, we're going to add that stripe, curving in and then down towards the sole. And we're going to step out, draw that same curve. Now let's add the large pockets along the side of the leg. Starting from the hip, I'm going to taper this out and then down. Do the same thing on the right. And we're just going to curve down and in behind the leg. Now let's move back up and draw on the arms. From the bottom of the sleeve, I'm going to step up, we'll curve out and then down towards the wrist. Line this up on the right and do the same thing. Now back on the left, we're going to start with the thumb. Start from the wrist, we'll draw a small half circle, curving in and then out. At the end of the thumb, we'll add a bracket. Let's do the same thing on the right, starting with that small half circle, and then we'll add a bracket. Now we're going to add 3 fingers on either side. So we're going to start at the bottom of the thumb, I'm going to curve down and up around the bracket. I'm just going to pull this up and in towards the inside of the wrist. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting from the bottom of the thumb, curve down, up, and then in towards the wrist. Let's add the second finger. Over on the side, curve down, and then up. Step over. Now the third finger is going to go out, up. I'm just going to pull that in behind the side of the scarf. Do the same thing on the right. Now in between the second and third finger, I'm going to curve up and then out towards the side of the arm. Let's add the wristband. From the top of the thumb, I'm going to curve up and then down on the outside. I'm going to step up and just trace that along the top. Let's do the same thing on the right. Let's move halfway along the outside of the arm. Right up here, we're going to add an oval. Curving in and then back out. Let's line this up on the right and do the same thing. Now from the top of the wrist on the inside, we'll step up, curve out, and then up in behind the oval. Do the same thing on the right. And then we'll add a spike on the side of the oval. Starting from the very top, we'll draw a straight line going up, curve out, and then down in behind the oval. Now the last thing we're going to do is add the scarf over on the left side. Starting underneath the arm, curve down, around the hand, out, and we'll just hook that back down and draw a wave going up, down, and back up. I'm going to follow that same curve going up and in behind the leg. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Kai from Beyblade. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.